The Lewis Cancer Research Pavilion has its special interest in serving the community. And we've made a promise to the community, to the board of St. Joe Candler Hospital, and to the community that patients will not have to leave Savannah environs to be treated for their cancer. And so we've put in place all the expertise that could deliver whatever the community needs from a cancer care point of view. So we started out as a community cancer center where we concentrated on the Chatham County area and the Hilton Head area. And then we became, as we developed new clinical trials, recruited new expertise, we then became a destination for cancer care in southern Georgia. And now we're about to become a regional cancer care delivery system. And we've joined other partners actually to deliver cancer care across the state of Georgia in something called the Georgia NCORP, which is a collaboration between Northside and Atlanta, something called Georgia Core, which has in its group a number of smaller hospitals in North and East Georgia and us in southern Georgia. So we've really, in the last 10 or 12 years, developed into a regional cancer care for delivery of cancer care so that our patients don't have to leave Savannah for cancer care. And St. Joe Candler, as part of Georgia NCORP, is number 3 or 4 in the country for putting patients on certain very, very important trials. One's DCP-001, that's a screening trial. And we've put about 18% of the patients on that trial that will ultimately be in that trial. That's a huge effort. And then we have this new trial with mammography called T-MIST, where we have a new type of mammography compared to the usual mammography. And we've already put 250 patients on that trial. So it's not trial for just the having trials, it's trials to support the needs of the community. And so that's how our trials are reflected. The most common trial we have is breast cancer, and followed by lung cancer. Those are the 2 commonest cancers we see in our environment. We see a lot of melanoma, which is my area of interest, and that is really now developing into a clinical trial area for not only melanoma, but for some even more malignant and aggressive skin cancers. So we have the whole breadth of clinical trials, even some leukemic clinical trials. Don't get me too excited here, okay, about this whole thing. No, so we're very fortunate in Savannah. We have great dermatology. We have excellent dermatology. We have excellent surgical oncology for the treatment of melanoma. We have excellent plastic surgery that helps us reconstruct patients who have had big procedures, head and neck procedures, other procedures where melanoma has been excised. But we don't really have good detection. And we see patients with thousands of pigmented moles. And how do you ever follow a patient like that? So we've been involved in the last 8 to 10 years in something called mole mapping. And what it does is look at every single mole bigger than 3 millimeters, and there can be hundreds of them, and look at it over time to see if there's any change in the mole. And that change, we look at it dermatoscopically and we look at it digitally. And if there's any change in that mole, we now know that's a mole that needs to be dealt with. So the question is that good screening? It's not great screening, but it's the only significant screening we have that makes a difference. Candler clays is so special. You have to look at it from the point of view national philanthropy or local philanthropy. And national philanthropy like United Way or American Cancer Society, they're very important and very special. So we give money to those things, lymphoma, leukemia. We give lots of support to that, but we don't get to direct how that dollar is really spent. Candler clays is so special. That's local grassroots philanthropy. And what that does is allow us not only to contribute financially to it, but actually to some degree say where our dollars are going to be spent. We all remember 2 years ago, or I guess it was 2 years ago, where we were in desperate need of new infusion chairs in the infusion center. And we, and you, not we, but you raised the dollars, and it got directed just to supporting that effort. And that's a big deal. That means not only did you contribute dollars, but you were able to direct those dollars to something you felt was important that we needed. Another thing, we always have to look about philanthropy in a certain way. Is it really good philanthropy? How many dollars are spent in administration of that philanthropy? When we look at lymphoma leukemia, about 20% of the dollar is on administration. That's the national average for good philanthropy. Well, this is in-house philanthropy, and there is even less spent to direct this care. So from my point of view, it is a home run. It is absolutely a home run. This is philanthropy at the grassroots, where you not only give the dollars and support, but you can direct where the dollars are spent. That's really important. I appreciate being asked to talk to this great audience today. And by the way, I have a team here who's shooting, and they're all women, and they're going to beat all the men. Go Candler Clays.